Can you dig it, sucker?
Live from Houston, Texas, and around the world. Join the 6-time World Heavyweight Champion, 2-time WWE Hall of Famer, and WWE NXT announcer, Booker T. Booker T. Alongside his right-hand man, the BOAT, Brad Gilmore, as they discuss everything from inside the ring to the backstage and beyond. It's time to get your champagne wishes and caviar dreams. Welcome inside the Hall of Fame. Now, can you dig that?
It's the Hall of Fame on ESPN 97.5.
And on ESPN 92.5.
Live from the Veritex Community Bank Studios, here's Booker T and Brad Gilmore.
Hot.
Oh, yeah, man. Welcome inside the Hall of Fame. I'm Booker T, 6-time world champ, 2-time Hall of Fame. I got my man Brad Gilmore here with me. And we're coming to you from the beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada, man. Getting ready for the big fight going down this weekend. Manny Pacquiao stepping back inside the square circle, taking on Mario Barrios. Before we even get started, though, man, how you feel, Brad? How you feel, dog?
I'm doing all right, BT. I'm doing all right. Manny Pacquiao, you know, that was the first fight you and I went to, if you remember, together for the Hall of Fame. It was Manny Pacquiao, it was Keith One-Time Thurman, MGM Grand Garden Arena. I'll never forget it so long as I live. And the Pac-Man is back in Las Vegas. I can't believe it's actually happening.
46, man, 46 years old, getting ready to step back inside the square circle. I'm surprised, man. The guy could be doing anything perhaps he wanted to do in this world, but he wanted to step back inside and throw them fifth ward beads. So, man, I'm here, man. I'm here to check it out. Brad, on the other hand, didn't get a chance to make the trip. He's doing the show from Houston, Texas, the beautiful Houston, Texas. But before we even get started, accommodations provided by MGM Park, Las Vegas, man. I want to thank the MGM Park for hosting this event, having me out here, because I'm gonna tell you right now, I got a hotel room that's got a jacuzzi in it. It's got mirrors everywhere. I don't know if it's the Elvis room or what, but yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's Las Vegas. I don't know what they're doing in that room. A jacuzzi and mirrors? I don't know, BT. I watch out for that one.
I'm just saying, man. But now I am so excited, guys. You still want to get some tickets for the live event? You can go through access.com. That's AXS.com. Do it now, because still, man, you definitely don't want to miss. I think this is going to be the showcase of the year, because not just Manny Pacquiao versus Mario Barrios is going to be on this card. Sebastian Fundora versus Tim Tszyu last year, 2024. That was the bloodiest fight of the year. In my opinion, it could have been the fight of the year, because I want big money on that fight. Isaac Pitbull Cruz is going to be stepping inside the square circle versus Angel Fierro, as well as the heartbreaker, Brandon Figueroa, is stepping back inside the square circle versus, I hope I'm pronouncing this right, Joet Gonzalez, as well as Gary Russell Jr. is going to be getting out there doing his thing. So, man, this is a stacked card out here in Vegas this week. Going down on Saturday the 19th, guys. Don't miss out. Don't get shut out. It's going to be on like a steaming pot of neck bones, and I got the best seat in the house. Seriously.
I mean, you really do. You have the best seat in the house, and what a fight card. I mean, we were there for Sebastian Fundora and Tim Tszyu the last time, man. I mean, whoa. If that cut didn't happen to Tim Tszyu, would that fight have been completely different? Because it was, for people who don't know, he was bleeding badly due to an accidental elbow from Sebastian Fundora. Sebastian Fundora has a significant height advantage. I think he's, 6'10", somewhere around there. He's a huge guy.
Yeah.
And he came down with an elbow on Tim Tszyu, and it cut him open so badly around his eye, and that really determined that fight.
You know, it definitely had something to do. It came into play. Let's just say that the blood, because it wasn't just a cut. It was one of those cuts where the fight could have, perhaps should have been stopped, right?
Yeah.
Right? And most occasions, this fight would have been stopped, but it was a championship bout. Tim Tszyu said, he's like Rocky Balboa, cut me, Mick, cut me. You know what I mean? He was going to stay in that fight, no matter what. Win, lose, or draw, he was willing to die inside that square circle, man, because like I say, blood was actually pumping. Every time his heart would beat, it was pumping, like gushing out like crazy, you know what I mean? So it was definitely one of the fights that you definitely going to remember forever if you was there watching it. Bloodiest fight of the year 2024 in my opinion. But like I say, when I went to the pay window, man, it felt good. It felt damn good. You know what, man? It's crazy. That's the first time that I'd ever bet on a fight in my life. In all of my years, the first time that I'd ever bet on a fight. And it made the fight feel so much more energetic. So I'm like, man, don't do that ever again. Don't do that ever again.
I know.
I always say when something is that good for you, it's bad for you. Get away from it.
It's got to be, because I was right there with you. I felt the rush of that
You
bet.
just put down $2.
I didn't put down $2. Now, I put down a little bit more than that, but it wasn't much more than that. Let me be honest with you. I wasn't matching the big bucks of Booker T, but I also remember our friend and colleague AJ Hoffman was there next to us, and I remember he was doing bets live during the fight. He was trying to get that fix in.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I mean, I had an uncle, man, Uncle Buck, Dallas, Texas. My favorite uncle. Every time I used to see him, he used to say, "Put this in your pocket." You know what I mean? It'd be 20, maybe a 50, or even 100. You know what I mean? He always used to take care of me. But Uncle Buck almost lost the house.
It's because
You know what I'm saying?
of those damn Cowboys, man. They couldn't get the job done. Uncle was trying, man.
Almost lost the house, man. You know what I mean? So I'm saying. You gotta be on top of your game when it comes to some people come out here, man. They got it down to a science. You know what I mean? They go in there. Some casinos won't even let certain guys in because they know they're gonna get robbed, for millions of dollars. You know what I mean? But no, man, this is a hell of a weekend. Like I say, Manny Pacquiao. Let's talk about that for a second. Before we come to our first break, as well as Ruca. Ruca is going to be joining us here inside the Hall of Fame. Ruca, the NXT North American champion, women's North American champion, as well as the Speed champion. She's going to be joining us here. But let's talk about Manny Pacquiao stepping back in the ring at 46 years old, taking on Manny Barrios. Manny Barrios is not a pushover. He's not a tomato can or anything like that. He's a guy that's going to come out there and he's going to fight to the death. He's one of those guys. He calls himself the Aztec Warrior. I remember when he was going against who is that? Tank Davis, and he said he was the Aztec Warrior. And Tank goes, "What is that?"
And he lost that fight too. So.
He lost that fight, but he put up a good fight. He put up
did.
a damn good fight.
11-round knockout.
Oh man, you know what I mean. So I want to see how this fight is going to play out just because of the age difference. You and I, we talk about it here inside the Hall of Fame all the time as far as that number. That number is 40, all right? You want to shut it down around 40 and start, wrapping it up. Manny Pacquiao is 46 years old. He hadn't had a notable fight in quite some time. I know he fought a YouTube sensation, some karate guy, I don't know, maybe a year or so ago, and touched him up in like 6 rounds, but they called it a draw. It was one of those exhibition fights. What do you think about Manny Pacquiao coming back at 46 years old?
I guess the Pac-Man just wants to try to have that one last moment in the sun, which I really thought was going to be the Keith One-Time Thurman fight. He went out there and really, I felt that was a performance of a lifetime because he shocked the world in a way that a lot of us didn't think, because then he was in the 4-0 mark and we thought, hey, this might be the last ride for Manny Pacquiao. And he went out there and he did what no one else had done to that point, and that was beat Keith One-Time Thurman. I guess he just wants to have that last Las Vegas moment. And will he do it the way that all the great wrestlers in the past have done it? And will he kind of pass the torch to the next generation? Because Mario Barrios, you only get a once-in-a-lifetime shot to have the last fight for Manny Pacquiao. And I feel if he gets an L in this fight, which Vegas odds have Manny Pacquiao losing this fight, I think that does a lot for Mario Barrios. He's the man to retire the Pac-Man.
Yeah, but you and I, we was talking about this, last time Manny Pacquiao fought a guy like this, kind of, was your Dennis Ugas.
Ugas, yeah.
Ugas went out there and just, I don't think he more so beat Manny Pacquiao than he did just muscled Manny Pacquiao.
Mm-hmm.
He pretty much moved Manny Pacquiao around the ring just because he was such a big fighter. His punch was so much bigger. I don't think he was a better fighter than Pacquiao by any means, but I just think he was just a bigger fighter, and Manny just couldn't get to him like he could with most guys. I wonder if this fight going to play out somewhat similar, just because Mario Barrios is tall, long, rangy, and 30 years old. And I think he's a lot faster than someone like a Yordenis Ugas. That's just my opinion. I could be wrong, but I think Manny in this fight is going to, this could be really bad. It really could be. I want to see Manny do well. You know what I mean? Because I'm gonna tell you right now, I've seen so many Filipinos out here already. They're taking pictures everywhere. They're getting ready. That's the only thing they're gonna be saying the whole fight. If it actually go that way. But if it don't go that way, it could be a rough, long night for Manny Pacquiao.
I don't want to see that either. And I don't think any of the Boxing Nation or the fans who are going to be there at the MGM Grand Garden Arena want to see Manny Pacquiao just get dogged out. You want to make it a competitive fight. Mario Barrios is a hell of a fighter, though. And, he's the defending world champion for a reason. And he's minus 250, according to BetMGM. He's a minus 250 favorite in this fight going against Manny Pacquiao. The odds that it ends in a tie, Book, what say you? Do you think there's any realm or possibility where they tie this fight?
You know what? You're talking about a draw.
A draw, yeah.
Okay. It's a possibility because Manny Pacquiao, if I'm not mistaken, has been knocked out only twice in his career.
Yes.
Oh, okay. And those been like few and far between. It's been a while since he's been knocked out or anything like that. I think Manny Pacquiao can go to distance. I really think Manny can go to distance. I think if Manny can go to distance, he might somehow be able to figure out, manufacture a draw out of this fight somehow. One thing about Manny Pacquiao, we don't know if he's lost the step yet because we haven't seen it, right?
We have not seen a full deterioration of Manny Pacquiao.
I mean, we have not we haven't seen a nowhere near full deterioration in the ring. You know what I mean? His age, says one thing, of course, but inside the square circle, we have not seen any corrosion from Manny Pacquiao. Just say, for instance, a Floyd Mayweather in his later years, even in his 40s, he still was better than 20 and 30-year-old guys, right?
Yes, absolutely.
So I'm not gonna put it past Manny Pacquiao. I'm gonna put money on Pacquiao tonight.
That's what you're thinking. That's what you're thinking is gonna go.
That's what I'm thinking, man. I'm thinking if this fight can go the distance, I can get some money out of this fight because I just do not. I don't know. I don't know. I don't see Manny Pacquiao getting knocked out. You know what I mean? Getting stopped. The referee having to have the wherewithal, understanding, know-how to step in and just do his job and stop it. Yes, I can. I can see that. I can see that happening. But as far as Manny Pacquiao getting hit on the chin and going to sleep, man, I don't know. I don't see that happening.
Yeah,
What say you?
And I don't see him getting knocked out by Mario Barrios. Although Mario has got a lot of power in his hands, but Manny Pacquiao has not been knocked out since 2012. That was the Marquez fight, and that was a sleeper. He definitely went to sleep on that one. But
it was late. It was late too.
It was late
in the fight. It was really late in the fight. They was about to go home. You know what I mean? And he got caught. He just got caught. You know what I mean? And then the last what?
Well, but what I was gonna say is Manny Pacquiao. I mean, Mario Barrios has won 18 of his 29 wins have come from way of knockout. So he's won more by knockout than he has by decision. Could that be what Manny Pacquiao is going to be on the receiving end? Will he be number 19?
You got to look at them guys that was on the receiving end of those KOs. Those guys were tomato cans. All right, most of those guys were tomato cans. Those guys were up to the caliber of a Manny Pacquiao guy who has won division championships over 4 divisions, right? 4 divisions.
Yes, sir.
So you can't even compare those guys to a great legend, a Hall of Famer like a Manny Pacquiao. I mean, that's just my opinion. I'm gonna give Manny his props, unlike some people.
No, look, I give Manny his props. I love Manny Pacquiao. No question about it. I don't see him winning this fight, but you know how much I would love to be wrong about this? How cool it would be for Manny Pacquiao to go out there at 46 years of age and stop a guy like Mario Barrios? In which way do you see that as even a remote possibility?
You know what, man? It's hard for me to see something like that happening, but, you know, anything can happen in the ring. You know what I mean? I'm sitting here right now as we speak. You know, I'm watching I'm looking at the poster, and I'm looking at Manny Pacquiao, and I remember Manny Pacquiao being that young, felt, in shape guy that could go out there. You just knew what was going to happen. And then I'm looking at this guy, and he's an older looking guy. He looked like he's had some, wear and tear on the tires, a little weathered a little bit around the brow. You know what I mean? And I wonder if Manny Pacquiao out there again could go out there and create the magic, one more time and go out there and do it like Manny Pacquiao has not did it once before, but like he always have. Manny Pacquiao has always risen to the occasion. So I'm wondering if Manny could go out there and pull the magic together just one more time. We're going to find out on Saturday night here at the MGM Grand Garden Arena. Guys, you're in the Hall of Fame with Booker T and Brad Gilmore. Stick around. We'll be back in a minute.
Hey guys, Brad Gilmore from the Hall of Fame. I'm here to tell you that the NBA's 82-game grind is done, and now the real fun begins. The NBA playoffs are here, baby, and it's time for all the high-stakes drama, the clutch moments, and the jaw-dropping plays. I love the NBA playoffs, and if you're looking to make the playoffs even more exciting, DraftKings Sportsbook has you covered as an official sports betting partner of the NBA. You can try placing a bet on your favorite player's performance. Will they drop 30 points, 40 points, or more? It's your call, and here's something special for our first-timers, new DraftKings customers. Bet $5 to get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Again, new DraftKings customers, bet $5 to get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Make it a playoff run to remember with DraftKings. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code BOOKER. That's code BOOKER for new customers to get $200 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. Only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER in New York. Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for gambling problems. Call 888-78-97-777. Or you can visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, 21 plus, age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. New customers only. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio.
Hey, this is Booker T, 6-time world champ, 2-time Hall of Fame. I got something for you guys, man. Look, when I was a kid, man, cereal was my jam. But now, since I'm a grown man, I'm looking for something that gives me more than just a sugar rush and carbs, man. That's when I found Magic Spoon. Look, it's a cereal that gives you the taste of your childhood favorites, but without sugar and packed with tons of protein.
And if you're already a fan of Magic Spoon, then you need to listen up to this because I've got some big news. Magic Spoon has taken that amazing cereal that we all love and turned it into high-protein treats. These new treats are light, they're crispy, and they become my go-to snack, especially before or even after the gym.
Yeah, man, every serving of Magic Spoon cereal has 13 grams of protein, 0 grams of sugar, and only 4 grams of net carb. That fruity and cocoa flavor are the classic ones, but there's a whole lot more to try, man.
And those new treats, they've got 12 grams of protein and come in flavors like marshmallow and chocolatey peanut butter. Perfect when you're on the go or you need a quick snack to fuel up before that workout.
Yeah, man, I keep a box in my gym bag, but it's a great late night snack as well. Those treats have that crispy texture, great taste, and the macros that make you feel good about eating them.
So Magic Spoon's bringing back those nostalgic flavors, but without all the stuff that we don't want. So if you want to try it for yourself and get $5 off your next order, go to magicspoon.com/HOF. That's magicspoon.com/HOF. Or you can even find it on Amazon or in your nearest grocery store.
That's magicspoon.com/HOF for $5 off. Magic Spoon, hold on to the dream.
And on ESPN 92.5.
Live from the Veritex Community Studios, here's Booker T and Brad Gilmore.
Oh, yeah, man. You're inside the Hall of Fame with Booker T and Brad Gilmore, and I'm coming to you live from Las Vegas, Nevada, MGM Grand Hotel and Casino, baby. Getting ready for the big fight going down this weekend. Manny Pacquiao versus Mario Barrios is going down, man. Can't wait, man. I love saying that, too.
He's got a championship name. There's no doubt about it.
Mario Barrios. But no, man, I'm serious, man. I'm geeked because I'm always loving a good fight. And like I said, I really feel like this card, it's a star-studded event. It really is. All the stars that's going to be out. So I made sure I brought one of my finest suits, guys. So I'm going to be taking a lot of pictures, posted. You know, I might even go live on the gram. You know
Don't ever say that again. I'm going to go live on the gram. I don't know what you're talking about. But you know what? Look, you talk about the stars are going to be out, the Manny Pacquiao fight. That's no doubt that's going to happen Saturday at the MGM Grand Garden Arena.
Wait a minute. Why I can't go live on the gram?
I just don't like the I don't like the connotation because we've seen look, athletes of a certain age go live on Instagram.
Okay.
And it doesn't go well all the time.
You got the room with the jacuzzi.
You got mirrors and jacuzzis. I don't know what's about to happen. So I just want you to be safe. Just be safe, BT, from me to you. But you know what? The stars are going to be out on Saturday, no doubt about it. But they're also going to be right here in the H in our city at the 713 Music Hall. It's going to be going down WWE NXT. And when you want to talk about the stars of NXT, you got to talk about one that shines brighter than so many on that show. She is the current WWE Women's Speed Champion, the NXT Women's North American Champion in 2023. PWI said she was the Rookie of the Year. Soul Ruca is on the line with us. Soul, you're on live with the Hall of Fame with Booker T and Brad Gilmore. How you doing?
Hi, guys. Thank you so much for having me.
So, how you doing? How you feel?
I'm good. How are you, Booker?
I'm doing real good. I'm out here in Las Vegas right now, getting ready for the big fight. But you got a big week ahead of you. Of course, NXT is going to be coming to Houston, Texas, my hometown, and I'm looking forward to seeing you there. Rock the house, baby. But how does it feel, man? How does it feel? The start of the meteoric rise, or has it been a meteoric rise? Talk to me about it.
It's been crazy, to be honest. I mean, going from nothing, as in being injured for 9 months, to now having not one but 2 titles and being booked this past weekend back to back to back. It's great. I'm honestly loving being busy. Definitely a full, 180 from being in rehab every single day to now being in front of thousands of people, and I could not be happier.
I was wondering, as far as, because to me, you only been in this thing, 3 years?
Yeah.
And now you like a household name, right? Everywhere you go.
Yeah.
I mean, you walk through the airport, you pass the airport test. Everybody look at you. Who is that? Oh, hell, that's Soul Ruca. You don't know. How does it feel being that girl?
It's different. Growing up with my dad being a musician, I'm used to being stopped, but not for myself. Used to him being stopped and then having conversations with the fans that, he draws in. But now it's, my turn, and it is very, very different. It's really cool when people, recognize me, especially being on NXT. And, sometimes I have people like singing the chant that they sing or, stuff like that. It's just, it's different, but it's really, really cool.
You're coming off that weekend. Sorry, Booker, to jump in for a second.
Go ahead.
Coming off a great weekend for you, like you mentioned, back to back to back. You had SmackDown, you had NXT, Great American Bash, and then that Evolution show. People are calling that Evolution, PLE, the show of the year. What was the energy and the vibe like for that show in Atlanta, Georgia?
Oh my God, it was amazing. Everyone was just, trying to have the best show possible. Everyone was in such good spirits and was just so excited to be able to, show what we've been working on our entire careers. And I think every single match was just a banger. And I think the fans really loved it. I think people are wanting Evolution 3. So, that's great news. Like, we would love to do it again. But yeah, I think everyone just killed it, and everyone was just in such good spirits and just had like the best time we could.
And you were in the ring there, with some greats, Charlotte Flair. I mean, how was it to kind of brush up against some of those athletes?
It was incredible. It was really, really intimidating, I'm not going to lie, but in the moment, it was just so much fun, especially being next to my best friend Zaria and being able to, step up and show what, NXT has taught us. And I think we really proved that we belong here. And having these, legends, like, guide us as well, we just felt so we felt like we belonged. And that's exactly what we wanted coming into this. And we're just happy that we were able to represent NXT in the way that we did.
Oh, you've had so much success, but you just spoke on it a second ago as far as, like being in there with like Charlotte Flair and whatnot. For me, that moment when I realized, man, I'm here, man. It felt like so out of body experience, like, for me being in the ring with like Steamboat or Mr. Perfect or like Bret Hart. And I'm like, man, how the hell I end up in the ring with Bret Hart? Have you had that moment yet? And if not, who do you think that moment would be with?
Yeah, we absolutely had that moment. But, it is an out-of-body experience. When you're in the ring there, you kind of think about it for like a half a second, and then you just have to flick back on to, it's game time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've definitely felt it. I didn't have enough time to really digest just because how, fast-paced it was. But definitely with Charlotte Flair, Alexa Bliss, Kabuki Warriors, honestly, every single person in there, I was like, damn. We made it. We did it.
Wow. Yeah. Bradley?
Yes, of course. Some of the matches that have really stood out to me from you as of late, I remember talking to Booker about that Battleground match you had with Kalani Jordan. I was saying it stole the show for me that night, and to go on early and to kill it like that, y'all had to feel once the 1, 2, 3 came, wow, we just did something real special.
Yeah, honestly, every time Kalani and I get in the ring with each other, that was our only, our second match as a singles together, but every single time we just try and steal the show. We try to be the main event regardless of what position we are in the card. And, yeah, hearing that 1, 2, 3, every single time I get the chills. We put our hearts out there, and we're really trying to, bring a new style to women's wrestling, and I think that people are starting to see that, and we are starting to change the game a little bit.
What's that style? How would you describe that style?
I guess more like high flyer-esque, but also more like acrobatic and unique. We both have similar but different backgrounds, and I think we both try and pull from that as much as we can to try and stand out. And we try to, try to do things that the men can do, but better, if that makes sense.
Okay. That takes me, from a trainer perspective, what has been your thought process as far as the training goes? Because your finisher is different. One thing about this business, I always say, it's we're doing the same thing. Everybody's doing the same thing, but we got to try to figure out how to do that same thing a little bit different. And I think that's what Soul Ruca brings to the table. You do it like everybody else, but you do it a little bit different. What do you think, that comes from?
I feel like that's just kind of how I've always been. I've always tried to stand out a little bit and tried to, obviously pull from other inspirations, but still keep it true to myself and bring, this sort of vibe that I have. I guess it's more like beachy California, but also like this acrobatic and kind of like edginess to it. I feel like it's really hard to name, but I try and just bring myself into everything that I do, through my inspiration through gymnastics and surfing and punk music and stuff like that.
What did you steal the finish from? Because my thing is, all
that's got to be a gymnast.
No. I say that because every finish that I had, I stole every one of them. You know what I mean? Nothing's original. You know what I mean? I just put a spin on it, put a little spice on it. Where'd you come up with the finish?
Yeah, that's tough coming up with like completely unique stuff in wrestling because everything's been done before. So mine kind of came from gymnastics, like I said earlier, it was a move that I did on the high bar called a straddle back, and it's where you swing off the high bar forward, you swing backwards, you let go, do kind of like a half front flip, and then land on your hands in a handstand. So I kind of wanted to bring that into a wrestling move. I had seen a similar move from someone who did it like on the side of the rope, and they did it into a stunner, but I was like, there's no way my back's going to handle that long term. So right. I tried to workshop it a little bit and decided that landing in the cutter position was just the best thing for me, and it took off.
I mean, it's been one of the most viral, I think, wrestling moves in the last several years. I remember when Randy Orton's RKO was going viral all over the place, and now it's the Soul Snatcher. You see it off the ladder. You see it, coming out of different perspectives and things like that. It's probably a great finish because when you hit it, the people are going to go crazy. They're going to pop out of this world. But let me ask you this: coming back after the rehab and being off for those 9 months, was there any intimidation that you were going to be able to do everything physically that you did before the injury?
Definitely at the start. Right after surgery, you can barely stand on your own. So that was definitely in the back of my mind there. But moving forward, after I started walking and moving around, I kind of just gaslit myself and told myself that I was going to be fine and that I was good and that I was going to be even better. And I think that, honestly, that worked. I think the mind is very, very powerful, and I think I almost tricked myself into coming back better than ever.
Well, WWE NXT Book is going to be live at the 713 Music Hall in Houston, Texas this Tuesday. And so for you, obviously you and Booker are there for NXT in Orlando every week mainly, but y'all been able to get on the road as of late. Atlanta, Georgia, like you said, you had that triple shot back to back to back. Does it kind of make your craft all that much better when you get to kind of perform in front of different crowds in different states?
Oh, 100%. Being in front of different people and different amounts of people, you get different atmospheres and a different feel and perspective. And, I feel like our fans are a little bit spoiled because they see us every single week, and they kind of work with us a little bit. So anytime we get out, it's just it's a good learning experience. And, I just love showing off, to be honest.
Well, you better get ready to show off because you're coming to the age, baby. And we're coming up on a break, but before I let you get out of here, I need you to let the people know exactly what they can expect from Soul Ruca, when you come to Houston. So cut me a promo. Cut me a promo real quick. Huh?
Well,
put you on the spot.
If you guys want to see one of the most crazy, unique, and defying gravity moves that you can ever think of, then might as well stop by NXT to see the Soul Snatcher for yourself.
Right.
I'm sold. Okay. I'm sold, Book. She sold me.
All right. Okay. We're going to work on the promo skills. We're going to work on them.
Yeah.
She's great. I know I put you on the spot, but I can let the people know in Houston that Soul Ruca is definitely going to show up. She's going to show up, show out. And like I said last week, she's like a Skittle. You know what I mean? She's about to make the world taste the rainbow, baby. Oh, yes, man. So... Hey, Soul, I want to thank you for giving me some time inside the Hall of Fame.
Thank you, guys.
No, we appreciate you.
Thanks, Soul. We appreciate you. Oh, Book, man. A Skittle?
Like that one right there.
That's funny.
Just like a Skittle. I'm about to make you taste the rainbow, baby.
I will tell you, though.
How you like that?
I like it. But I will tell you, Soul Ruca, that finish, her presentation, her ability in the ring, man, she's going to be out of here. You know what I mean? She's going to be one of those ones that people talk about for a long time.
No, the thing is, Soul is definitely one of those ones that people are going to be talking about for a long time. I feel like she's going to have longevity in the business. She's got that it factor.
Yep.
That Midas touch. Always says like the wind. You can feel it, but you can't touch it, but you know it's there. That's Soul Ruca. So, but no, man. That's another one of my bookisms. Don't steal it, guys.
You need to have a book of bookisms. Is what you need.
We're in Vegas for the big fight, big Manny Pacquiao fight versus Mario Barrios. Going down on the 19th. But we got a whole lot more for you. Stick around. We'll be back in a minute. Hey, this Booker T, 6-time world champion. They say first impressions are important, but let me tell you something. Lasting impressions are even more important, and that's where Blue Chew comes in. Blue Chew gives men stronger and longer lasting erections so you can perform at your best level.
And book, Blue Chew's unique online service delivers that same active ingredient as Viagra, Cialis, and Levitra, but it's in a chewable form at a fraction of the cost. The process is simple. You sign up at BlueChew.com, you consult with one of their licensed medical providers, and once you're improved, you'll receive your prescription delivered right to your door within days.
Hey, Bradley, the best part is, man, it's all done online. On the internet, no doctor's visit, no waiting at the pharmacy, no awkward conversations. You can take them anytime, day or night, so you can be ready whenever the moment is right.
And you might be thinking, I don't need it. Well, why not give it a try? Blue Chew is offering a free month. You just pay $5 for shipping. You're going to love it. And trust me, your partner, they're going to love it too. Confidence is key, and with Blue Chew, it can help boost that confidence where it counts. With Blue Chew, men everywhere are excited to see the postman because they know when your package arrives, your package arrives. Discover your options at BlueChew.com and be ready to perform at your best.
And we've got a special deal for our listeners today, man. Try Blue Chew free when you use promo code Booker at your checkout. Just pay $5 for shipping. That's BlueChew.com. Use promo code Booker to receive your first month free. Visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information. Look, we want to thank Blue Chew for sponsoring the Hall of Fame podcast.
Chew it and do it.
Chew it and do it. Can you dig it? Houston, get ready to rumble with the Hall of Fame on ESPN Radio.
That's right, Booker. We're bringing the heat Tuesday through Friday right here on the Houston airwaves on 97.5 and 92.5.
We've got the exclusive scoop on wrestling, boxing, and everything in between.
Join us for the smackdown of sports talk and don't miss a moment of the action.
The Hall of Fame. Now, can you dig that? Sucker!
Hey guys, Brad Gilmore here from the Hall of Fame, letting you know that life, it doesn't happen bi-weekly. So why should your payday? The money you earn could be in your hands today with Earn In. So this is what I want to tell you about. I want to tell you about this great sponsor, man, and I've heard from the people of the Hall of Fame. They've really helped out because Earn In is an app that gives you access to your pay as you work, up to $150 per day with a max of $750 between paydays. All you do is you download the Earn In app and you verify your paycheck. Real simple process. Then you can access up to $150 a day as you work and leave an optional tip. Any money you access plus tips are automatically repaid from your next paycheck. It's really, really easy. So like if you have an unexpected trip to the vet, you have upcoming rent that you might be a little short on, a special night out, last minute gift for a loved one, if you need some new school shoes, maybe kids getting ready for the summer. You got to get something for your kids so that they look fresh in the summertime, especially here in Houston. You just go Earn In. You just go to the Earn In. So you download that app. Make Earn In a part of your financial routine and join Earn In's over 4 million customers who say things like, when I think about Earn In, I think about financial stability. I think about security. It gives me a lot of peace of mind. So what you got to do, you got to download Earn In today. That's EARNIN in the Google Play or the Apple App Store. When you download the Earn In app, you type in Hall of Fame podcast under podcast. So when you sign up, it'll really help the show. So you put the Hall of Fame podcast under podcast, all right? Earn In is a financial technology company, is not a bank. Cash outs are based on your available earnings. Standard cash outs take 1 to 2 business days with no mandatory fees. Option to expedite your transfer for a fee. Tips are voluntary and don't affect the service. See the cash out user agreement for details. Services not available in all states. But go download Earn In today. Hall of Fame podcast. Type that in under podcast. And tell them Booker T and the Boat Brad Gilmore sent you. Really appreciate you.
You are listening to the Hall of Fame on ESPN 97.5.
And on ESPN 92.5.
Live from the Veritex Community
Hot.
Studios, here's Booker T and Brad Gilmore.
Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame, man. Coming to you live from Las Vegas, Nevada, MGM Grand Garden Arena. Right now, we're just getting ready for Saturday night. I'm excited. Bradley,
Yes, sir.
so Ruca.
Ah, amazing.
I think we need to work on the promo skills a little bit, right?
Look, you did put her on the spot, but
I
she
put her on the
said,
spot for a reason. I put her on the spot for a reason. You
I
gotta
know
be ready.
everything's a test. I understand.
Everything's a test, man. Everything's a test. You got to be ready, man. You got to be ready. Like Johnny on the spot when it's time to do a promo. You know what I mean?
Look,
That's what Dusty said, right? That's what Dusty said,
we
right?
gotta do a promo, baby.
You gotta do a promo, baby. You gotta get the people in the building. You gotta put the asses in seats, baby. You know what I mean? That's what Dusty was saying.
We need to have a behind every 18 inches, daddy.
You know what I'm saying? So I need to prep her on that. You know what I mean?
Look. Here's the thing.
You gotta always be ready. You gotta always be ready.
I was thinking about Sol Ruca during the break and just during that interview, and you know who she kind of has a vibe of in a way, from a female perspective though. She's kind of got that Jeff Hardy vibe going with her. Do you know what I mean? Like a charismatic enigma, and she's the people gravitate to her, and you might not even understand fully why. I don't know if I can tell you why Jeff Hardy was a magnet for the fans when he was in the midst of his run. I mean, hell, he's still in a run, but like in that top peak of the Attitude Era into the mid-2000s, there was something about Jeff Hardy that just made everybody want to watch him. And I feel like Sol Ruca has that same quality, that X factor.
Yeah, I agree. I agree 100%. You 100% dead on as far as Jeff Hardy. I never knew what it was about the Hardys.
Both of them,
Matt and Jeff. I always talk about Matt Hardy. I just didn't know what he had. Like, man, what is this guy? Until I got in the ring with him. And I remember, it was a house show. I can't remember what it was, but I remember, man, those people going freaking nuts for this dude. And I go, oh, that's why they like this guy. Because he could work. You know what I mean? In the ring, he was solid, man. Even though he looked like he had 2 left feet. In the ring, he was so freaking solid, and I just didn't understand it until I got in the ring with him, and the crowd was going nuts that one night. And I go, okay, now I see why they like this guy. He's got it. You know what I mean? He knows what he's doing. So yeah, I could see that with Sol Ruca. She's gonna be, like I say, she's gonna be one of the greats. I really believe that. Stay away from the injuries. One thing about this business today, I definitely don't think the guys are injury prone or anything like that. But it's just done so differently than it was done, when I was coming up. And I think that's what it is, and due to so many guys getting injured.
Yeah, I agree with you, and here's where I agree the most is if you look at not to say, because your generation, what was interesting about like the 90s into the mid 2000s, kind of when the peak of your run, or the majority of your career was, there was a big difference from the 1980s, right? The 80s was a lot slower, a lot less maneuvers, a lot more,
those guys were doing a lot more drinking though.
Those guys were doing a lot of drinking, a lot more other things. You know what I mean?
They
were having a good time. They were having a good time.
It was a lot different back then.
But also, if you look at some of the territorial days, like kind of pre-WrestleMania 1, guys had different body types. There wasn't really female wrestling at all, very limited. It was more of a sideshow attraction at the time. And they weren't the most athletic. They were just big. I mean, you look at a guy like Stan Hansen. You know what I mean? I don't know what Stan Hansen's time is in the 40-meter dash, right? But he also looks like he could kick your behind. But as the years progressed, kind of your era, and you were one of those guys who helped usher in a more athletic style. Hell, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson has been on the record several times saying you're the most athletic person he ever wrestled in his career. And then you make that bridge into what we see today, where they're doing kinds of moves like we were talking about with Sol Ruca and the Soul Snatcher. That's something that, the guys in the 80s wouldn't even attempt. And it just shows you how much the business has progressed. But because of that athleticism, I do believe that there's a higher risk for long-term injury or injury bug. We saw Seth Rollins just go down with an injury. He's going to be out for a foreseeable time. He said that himself on the Rich Eisen show this week.
Yeah, but with a guy like Seth, it's not a matter of
the style.
If it's just not a matter of if, just a matter of when. Yeah. Sooner or later the body just breaks down.
Yeah.
You could have done that same move 1,000 times and then you do it that one night, and that be the night. And I say that because RVD, that little, you go for a backdrop, and RVD would do that little flip, and land on his feet off your back. I saw RVD do that 1,000 times, and then one day, bang, he broke his ankle.
Yeah.
It was just that simple. It was just his number was up. I think with certain guys, but with some guys, they go out there and they throw caution to the wind on a regular basis, and it's just bound to happen. You know what I mean? And that's what I talk about with the young guys, as far as working certain styles on certain shows, having a certain repertoire. Just like, say, for instance, when you're just doing a house show or doing an overseas tour, you got to know when to kick it down a gear, opposed to just running full speed all the time, because it's fun. And when you're young, you're not thinking really. You just want to go out and you just want to have fun.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the day, you can end up paying for that. So I think that's got a lot to do with it more than anything.
But you also see Soul, when she's talking about that Soul Snatcher, she's like, hey, I looked at somebody else who did something similar, and I figured out how to modify it, because I said, hey, man, I can't do that for 10 years down the line, landing in a stunner position. I could have some injury. So they're very forward thinking. But you're also right.
Yeah.
When Seth did a move he did 1,000 times, Liv Morgan just went down with an injury, doing something that she does in every single match. And you are right. Sometimes the bumps just add up after a while, and it's unavoidable.
That's what happened to me.
Yeah.
It wasn't, something that I actually went out and did in the ring. It was the bumps, man. It was the wear and tear on my body. My knee just finally gave way and said, man, you got to go get something done. I can't go any longer, you know what I mean? So I think that's it, more so than anything with a lot of guys. Seth Rollins has been one of the smartest workers, that we've seen come along in a long time, because just go back when, what was his name before? Something Black, right?
Tyler Black.
Tyler Black, and he was doing flips all the time, jumping over the top rope, dives and all that stuff. He cut all that stuff out, you know what I mean? And he only did it when he needed to do it, you know what I mean? So when I see certain guys, like him go down, like I said, it's just the bump card. You know what I mean? The bump card is being punched up. You know what I mean? It's like the lunch card. Like when you're in school.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Once it's punched up for the month, you can't get no cheeseburgers, man. You can't get no fries.
You use them
know what I
all
mean? So I think that's what it is. I think more so than anything.
Well, but talk to me about NXT. Well, I guess we'll talk more about it here coming up, but I want to talk about NXT being here in the H and what that means to you.
Hell yeah, man. We're going to talk about it. Stick around, guys. You're in the Hall of Fame. We'll be back in a minute.
Man, I got to tell you, BT, I never thought I'd care this much about a wallet, but Ridge Wallet has completely changed the game for me. Before this, I was carrying around that old school leather wallet. It was falling apart. It was bulky and jammed from receipts from like 1996, even though I was only 4 years old. It looked like I had a cheeseburger in my back pocket, but with Ridge, it's sleek, it's strong. It holds up to 12 cards plus cash, and it's made from premium materials. I'm talking aluminum, or as my folks across the pond say, aluminium, carbon fiber, titanium. This thing is like the superhero of wallets. And y'all know I love my gear. I gotta be sharp, I gotta be clean. Ain't nobody dope as me. I'm just so fresh. So yeah, I'm so fresh and so clean, and I also need to be functional. So this is what is huge for me. This wallet has RFID blocking tech, so nobody's stealing your info while you're walking down the street. That's peace of mind. And check this out. Mine is made of carbon fiber, but they have 50 colors and styles to choose from. It's the last wallet you'll ever need. And with Ridge's lifetime warranty, it's not just hype, it's real.
Right now, Ridge is running their huge Memorial Day sale. You can get up to 40% off at ridge.com/booker. That's ridge.com/booker. Don't miss their biggest sale of the year. And when they ask how you heard about them, make sure you tell them you heard them right here on the Hall of Fame podcast with Brad Gilmore and Booker T. Hey, and don't forget, support the show and level up, baby.
This is the Hall of Fame on ESPN 97.5.
And on ESPN 92.5.
Live from the Veritex Community Bank Studios, here's Booker T and Brad Gilmore.
Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame, y'all. Coming to you live from Las Vegas, Nevada. Hey, I want to thank the Park MGM Las Vegas for the accommodations. Like I always say, what a night, what a fight is going to be, but the accommodations, the hotel room, you know what I mean? The jacuzzi bath.
Oh, yeah.
And all of that. I even got a personal masseuse. I'm just playing. I'm just playing.
I was about to say, but hope the Queen's not around.
Hey, ain't got none of that. But it is awesome. It is awesome. Guys, tickets are still available through access.com. That's AXS.com. Do it now. Get in the building, man, because Manny Pacquiao is looking to turn back the clock. 46 years old, taking on Barrio Barrios, 30 years old. And that's always the dynamic. Father time, old line versus young line. I'm excited about it. But you want to talk about NXT Tuesday, Houston, Texas, 713 Arena. So what do you want to talk about? What do you want to talk about?
Look. I'm excited that NXT's coming to the city because I've gotten to see several NXT shows over the last couple of years, especially since you've been there. And I feel like people, if you don't go out and check out NXT, especially coming off of Monday Night Raw, you're really doing yourself a disservice because Monday Night Raw is a spectacle. There's no doubt about it. It's going to be here Monday at the Toyota Center. It's going to be a spectacle. But that 713 Music Hall is a really great venue to see wrestlers of this caliber going out there and doing it. And I wanted to know what you thought of it being in your city. I don't know if you've gotten to do NXT from the H before, so this is kind of a special homecoming for you in some way.
It's going to be off the chain, man. I got a brand new T-shirt and everything.
What?
So make sure you guys go out there and get the new Booker T T-shirt. Booker T. Oh, yeah, that's what it's called. That's what it's called, the Booker T. Make sure you get you one. It's got all of my catchphrases on it. So make sure you
No
guys
way.
Yeah, I'm serious, man. So, yeah, man, I'm excited. As well as we're going to have Oba Femi at the top of the hour, guys. We got Oba Femi, the ruler, the NXT champion, going to be stepping inside the Hall of Fame here as well tonight. So make sure you guys stick around for that. But nah, man, I'm excited, man. Kendrick, my son, and my daughter, Kennedy Rose, they're excited. They're excited for Monday as well. Raw's going to be in town. But nah, man, it's one of those things to where I'm never dreamt in a million years that I would be doing what I'm doing right now. That job was only supposed to be for 3 months.
I remember.
It was only supposed to be for 3 months. It has been over 3 years now that I've been sitting at the desk at NXT, and I've been having the time of my life. And I wouldn't change it for anything. So I'm looking forward to Houston, NXT, all the guys and all the girls coming out there, shocking and amazing, giving the crowd exactly what they want. But Femi, he better be ready because I'm gonna put him on blast as well. I'm definitely gonna put him on the spot. He better have a promo ready for me. I need these wrestlers. These wrestlers these days, they gotta know when you come on the radio, come on one of these podcasts or whatever, you got to be ready. And you know me. I got one. It's already built in. I just say the same thing every time. And that's all you guys got to do. But you got to be ready. And when you say, look here, you might be in a different city, so these people might have heard it, but these people haven't. So it's something brand new. So guys, be prepared. Preparation is the only luck you're ever gonna have. That's it. That's the only luck you're ever gonna have. So be prepared for this moment.
Yeah, definitely. I understand what you're saying there. I'm excited to talk to the ruler Obafemi here at the top of the next hour. But I also want to let the people know this. If you're in your WWE mood and you went to Raw and you're going to go to NXT, before NXT at the River Oaks Theater, you can actually join myself for a special screening of WWE Unreal at the River Oaks Theater. If you want to go to that, you can RSVP. The link is on my Instagram book. This Unreal show, they dropped a new trailer for it today. Netflix did. Man, this thing looks great. I know that some people are like, oh, y'all are exposing the business, but this show looks like it was made for me, especially with what we do at Reality of Wrestling. I can't wait for Unreal.
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking. Is it something you think Reality Wrestling would ever do?
Do a show like that?
Yeah.
I will tell you this. If they did a reality show on the show before reality of wrestling, like the preparation, the before and after, the moments in between the matches, what all goes into it, it would be the number one show on whatever streaming service it would find itself. I think it'd be the most entertaining show, because I think that what I love about pro wrestling, and I've seen this even at the WWE level, the NXT level, although they've got it down to a science, and so do we to a certain regard. But what I love about it is it does always feel like constant chaos in some way, because there are so many moving parts, and it really is a tightrope act. It's a high wire act every single time we do the show, especially now doing it every other Saturday. It feels there's a rush that goes into it that I think people would like to see.
All right. I'm just checking. You know what I mean?
What do you think?
And, you know, right now with the business the way it is, you know, I do believe in, you know, letting people see some portions of it. I don't know about, you know, just like, say, for instance, if we was in a war room, you know, going over ideas and whatnot. I don't know how close I want to bring, you know, the crowd into that aspect of it, because, you know, I still believe in the Marvel movie.
Yeah.
You know, and if I see how the you know, the cake is made, sometime, you know, it might, you know, ruin, you know, the way I look at it. You know what I mean? So, I'm old school.
But let me say this. Like, for instance, I went and saw Superman this last weekend. I really liked the movie. I know that Superman really isn't flying. You know what I mean? Like, I know that someone sat and wrote all this. But I would love to watch the documentary on how they got him to look so realistic flying in the movie.
You know what? That part I don't mind.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't mind that part. I'm just saying, you know, in the movie, a man can't really fly.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's just like, you know, space, you know, hook. What's that video game used to be, the basketball game where the guy was on fire and he could jump like through the roof?
NBA Jams.
Exactly. You know, the guy can't really jump through the roof. You know what I mean? But it's still cool, you know, to see how that, you know, could actually happen, you know, in a movie perspective, you know. So yeah, I get it. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, no. So I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with this show. It's, again, Netflix is going to be premiering it here in Houston on the same day as NXT. So if you want to go check that out, I got some information on my Instagram at the River Oaks Theater, which is a great theater if no one's ever done that before. And again, NXT at the 713 Music Hall. I can't stress enough for y'all to go get tickets.
Did we see Ben-Hur there?
Ben-Hur was at the River Oaks Theater, yes.
Yeah.
I believe it was.
Yeah. I remember that. Yeah.
The remake to Ben-Hur. We're not old enough for the original
the
to be at the premiere.
I'm old enough.
Oh, you might be. Speak for yourself.
Because I was talking about the original compared to that one. It was no comparison.
The original's better.
Yeah, man, yeah.
Way better. The original's way better. But you know what? I'll be interested to hear what you think of the Superman movie whenever you get around to watching it. I'll be interested to know what your take is.
Well, you know, I'm a big Superman fan. I don't like DC Comics too much, but I always like Superman. Yeah.
Yeah, Chris Reeve. Chris Reeve was a great Superman. You know, I love the one with him and Richard Pryor. Do you remember that one?
Heck yeah, of course. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I forgot what his name was in that. Gus something or another. Richard Pryor.
That was one of my favorite ones. Yeah. But nah, man, a lot going on this weekend. Actually, UFC going down as well.
Dustin the Diamond Poirier.
Yeah, Max Holloway. That's going to be for the BMF championship. This may be the final time it's supposed to be the final.
Supposed to be the final one.
We see Dustin Poirier down the cage. He says he's going to put his gloves down in the middle of the octagon and walk away from it. Man, and it's crazy that we have watched Dustin Poirier's whole career.
Yeah.
From the beginning.
Yeah.
From Fightsville on HBO.
From the very first one. We've talked about him. We've had his whole career discussed on this show.
And we've watched. That's crazy. That's, you know, and it's I don't know. I see myself, you know, I don't know. It's crazy. It seems like I live so many lives because I've seen so many fighters at the beginning of their careers and so many fighters at the end of their careers. I've seen so many, you know what I mean? So many. And, man, it seemed like I've lived, 100 lifetimes.
Well, how do you see Dustin Poirier and Max Holloway going? I mean, Max is a beast. Everybody knows it. Dustin is always going to go in there and scrap. Now, I know that he's been great as an analyst. He was on our national ESPN show a couple of UFC pay-per-views ago. He's great. Do you see him retiring as the BMF, or is Max gonna get the job done?
You know, Max is slowing down just like every other fighter.
Sure.
I think that's is just evident. It's something that, you know, you can't get past, and you see it. You know, is Max still that dog? Of course he is, but both of these fighters, I think, are at that crossroad in their careers, pretty much at the end of, you know, their careers. They can still continue to go out there and fight, but they're just going to be going out there and fighting. So many guys, these young guys are coming up, and they know it. For Dustin to walk away this way, if he walks away this way, yeah, I say it's fitting. I say it's fitting. I say walk away, go out there, become the BMF, walk away. It's your last fight. He's got so much more opportunities out there. He's got so many other things that he's doing. He's been seemed like he's been smart with his money. That's the one thing about Dustin Poirier. He doesn't seem like he's out there balling. Doesn't seem like he's out there, you know, trying to get the next big chain. You know what I mean? You know, trying to, you know, keep up. It seemed like this dude has been level-headed since day one, and it's always been about taking care of his family, making some money, taking care of his family. This could be that last hurrah for Dustin Poirier, and if it is, man, more power to him, man. I'm happy for him. But guys, you're inside the Hall of Fame. Stick around. We got a whole lot more for you.
Ooh, yeah. Dig it.
Guys, this is Brad Gilbert from the Hall of Fame podcast. We got to talk about jeans for a second because I'm genuinely excited about our new sponsor. You know how hard it is to find the perfect pair of jeans? I know I do. Sometimes they're too baggy. Sometimes they're too tight. Sometimes they fade in the wash. They're just not right. But I finally found it. I found the jeans you need to get because I talked to our friends over there at the Perfect Jean. And I'm not kidding when they say that they've changed the way that I wear jeans forever. Because these just aren't jeans. They're a revelation. I've been rocking them on set, on television, at events, even just lounging around. And I've never felt so comfortable in denim. And here's the deal. The Perfect Jean saved over 700,000 pairs of nuts. Yeah, you heard that right. From bad jeans. We've saved the nuts from the bad jeans. And you know the ones, those stiff, scratchy, cardboard-like jeans we've all suffered through? Well, those days, they're over. Yeah, they're over. As the Macho Man would say, those days are over. Ooh, yeah. Because these jeans fit like they were custom made just for me. They're stretchy enough for me to bust out my best spinneroonie, you know, BT style. Soft as a cloud and durable enough to keep up with my busy life. Plus, they look good. They look incredible. I dress them up. I can dress them down. I can throw a suit jacket on, a little blazer, tie action with some Jordans. They look great. I've gotten so many compliments on them, too, and trust me, everybody has noticed, even the ladies. They've got a crazy range of sizes, from 26 to 50 waist, from 26 to 38 length, 6 different fits. So whether you're a short king, you're a little bit thicker, I'm talking about thick with 2 C's, or somewhere in between, they've got you covered. Oh, and it doesn't stop there. The Perfect Jean has also developed the Perfect Tee. It's soft as butter, stretches in all the right places, and doesn't shrink in the wash. It's basically everything you wish your favorite t-shirt could be. Again, the Macho Man would say, ooh, yeah. So, honestly, as somebody who's always struggled to find the right jeans that fit right, either they're too tight in the thighs or they're too loose in the waist, the Perfect Jean, they finally nailed it. I can move around, sit, stand, and even dance without feeling too restricted. They're so comfortable, I forget I'm even wearing jeans sometimes. And let's be real, comfort and style in one package, it's a major win. So here's the best part. You can try the Perfect Jean for yourself and get 15% off your first order, plus free shipping, free returns, and free exchanges. All you have to do is go to theperfectjean.nyc. That's theperfectjean.nyc and use promo code BOOKER15 at checkout. That's 15% off theperfectjean.nyc with promo code BOOKER15, BOOKER15. Don't forget to tell them the Hall of Fame sent you. It helps support the show. So what are you waiting for?
F your khakis. Yeah, get into the perfect gene today. Dig it.
To the Hall of Fame on ESPN 97.5.
And on ESPN 92.5.
Live from the Veritex Community Bank Studios, here's Booker T and Brad Gilmore.
That's right. Welcome inside the Hall of Fame, y'all. We out here in Vegas getting ready for this big WBC welterweight championship fight. Manny Pacquiao versus Mario Barrios. Can't wait for that, man. It's going down. Sebastian Fundora versus Tim Tszyu, as well as Isaac Pitbull Cruz versus Angel Fierro. It's going to be a major triple hitter. The trifecta, baby. That's what I like to call it. But we're talking about everything tonight. UFC. We talk about NXT. It's going to be coming to Houston on Tuesday. Don't miss out. Don't get shut out. Tickets still available on that right there. But Brad,
and Monday Night Raw. And Monday Night Raw for the Toyota Center.
You know what? Let me give Monday Night Raw some love. Monday Night Raw as well at the Toyota Center. You don't want to miss out on that as well.
I got to speak to probably one of our favorites of all time this morning, Roxanne Perez. Roxy, the prodigy, the one time the 16-year-old sensation, and it's incredible to see where she's at in her career and be able to talk to her. What was funny is before the interview, one of the WWE PR reps were like, "Hey, make sure she knows that you work with Booker T too, and that'll be a." And I'm like, "Oh no, we know each other. I've seen that. You talk about seeing somebody's career." I was there for the very first Roxy match. So to see where she's at now as one half of the women's tag team champions. And you know what, Book? Fittingly enough, the way that she kind of gets this title is somewhat similar to how you got your first singles championship in WCW. Liv went down. She stepped up. A similar situation happened when you won the television title, I believe.
Got to be ready. You got to be ready. I mean, who was it? Rick Martel forgot his boots. You know what I mean? He thought he was just coming in to do a promo that week, and they was getting the title off Disco. And
Oba's on the line.
Hey, Book, we're gonna put you in that position. And I said, and then it was like, we're gonna just transit. It was like a transitional championship. They was gonna put it on Rick Martel later on, but I was like, oh hell no, he ain't never getting this title, baby. 6 times later, baby. 6-time television champion, the greatest television champion of all time. Bad man.
Bad man, but you know what, Book? We're talking about NXT in Houston, and who better to bring in, Book, than this is another one of our favorites. Somebody who we've talked about on this show since he made his impact on television. He's a champion in his own right. He's the ruler, Book. He's Oba Femi, and he's joining us right now inside the Hall of Fame. Oba, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Thank you guys so much for having me.
Oba, what's going on, man? How you feel?
I'm feeling good, man. I'm ready for Houston.
Hey, man, I just got a new T-shirt just came out of that. I'm not off into the merch thing. I try to stay away from that stuff. But I got a new T-shirt coming out. It's got one of my favorite catchphrases on there, and it's actually for you. No bread, no water, just me.
Just me.
How you feel about that catchphrase, man?
Man, I love the fact that I embody that catchphrase. Booker. It's very, very fitting. I love it. I love the big man style of wrestling. It doesn't get, too much better than that when it comes to Obafemi. So.
Well, you talk about that, Oba, real quick. Man. I just want to jump in real quick because one of the things that Book and I talked about on this show for a long time, a match that we would love to see, and it was somewhat of a dream match, Book, I think, for you and I both, and it happened this year, and you talk about big man style. You and Moose, I feel like y'all have a great chemistry with each other. How was it to finally lock horns with Moose?
I mean, the fans got the biggest win of the day, in my opinion, because, me versus Moose has always been a dream match, but nobody wanted to see that match more than the fans. So it wasn't just a big moment for me and Moose, it was also a big moment for the NXT universe, and the wrestling universe, if I might even say. Moose, he matched me in every facet of the, when it comes to the physical aspects of the game. He was just as tall, he was just as big, he hit just as hard. And in my own opinion, it came down to, who wants it more. And I think the younger and more hungry guy wanted it more on that night.
I like it, man. Hey, man, I call you like a generational talent. I feel like you could have worked like in the 70s and the 80s, the 90s, in this era. Did you grow up, a fan of wrestling? Because me, I was a dancer. I watched wrestling, but it wasn't something I really watched like a lot of kids. But when I got in the ring, it was like deja vu. Seemed like I had been there before. What was it like for Obafemi?
Well, Femi was definitely a fan growing up. I got to watch a lot of the greats, the Shawn Michaels, the Undertakers, the Brock Lesnar's, the Booker T's. So I was definitely a big fan growing up. I didn't think it was going to be like a career path for me. I didn't think it was possible because I grew up in Nigeria, and I knew that most of the professional wrestling scene was based, in the U.S. and in Europe and all that. So I never had any aspirations of becoming a WWE superstar or even a professional wrestler myself. It's kind of an opportunity that fell into my hands. But that's the one good thing about being a fan. A lot of people ask, what's the best sport to transition into wrestling? Some people think it's football. Some people think it's amateur wrestling. But to me, personally, there's no other sport than being a fan. That is the most one-for-one correlation you can get, because when you've watched it as a child, you know the timing, you know when to hit your lines. There's something that subconsciously digests into your system when you grow up a fan. So when you become a professional wrestler, you can just do it.
Oba, I think that's 100% accurate, and it's already in your DNA and in your bones when you grow up watching. I grew up watching, and one of the guys you mentioned I grew up watching as well that's Brock Lesnar. And the thing I always liked about Brock is he had that collegiate background, and he came in, and he already had a presence about him. And that's a word that I've used to describe you a lot. Whenever I see Obafemi on television, you have an incredible presence, and people I've heard make that Brock Lesnar comparison. How do you feel about that? Do you see a correlation there?
I mean, yes, I've definitely taken some inspiration from him, in the way I work. But I don't think there's a one-to-one correlation between Brock Lesnar and Obafemi. I mean, the athleticism is there, and the strength is there. But I think Obafemi is a beast of its own. Personally, I don't think anyone moves like Obafemi, anyone talks like Obafemi, anyone walks like Obafemi. I think Obafemi is a very unique experience. And the people who draw the most correlation between Lesnar and Femi are the people who haven't really seen a lot of Obafemi. So they look at the superficial stuff like the build and, the speed. But those are just, like I said, the exterior. When you know the character of the ruler, the destroyer, the bringer of war, you will understand that is a unique experience that the WWE Universe has never seen before. Obafemi is a one of one. And I just wanted to make that clear.
I love it, man. I love it,
hey, man.
I love
Hey,
it.
man, you're inside the Hall of Fame right now, man. We got Obafemi, the NXT El Gran Campeon. That's my Spanish. That's my Spanish.
But you just heard the what we just heard from Obafemi. He's a one of one. You know what I mean? That was a hell of a promo right there. I agree with him.
I do it.
That's how a University of Alabama representative does it. You know what I mean? He's a Roll Tide. I'm a Roll Tide. He went and did it in the track and field world. Now he's doing it in the wrestling world.
I was gonna put him on the spot later, but he already passed it.
He aced it.
But Oba, being from Nigeria and being the guy that you've become now, have you had a chance to go back to Nigeria?
Yeah, I've been back twice in the last 3 years. So I try my best that every year I will at least, check in now.
What is it like, man? What is it like when you go home, being Obafemi, the guy who has really much captured the hearts, of so many people around the world now? What is it like when you go home? I'm just wondering.
It's very interesting because I come into the airport and a lot of people see me, a lot of people know who I am, and it's like, oh my God, that's Obafemi, and it's Obafemi. And then I get to my own neighborhood where my family is, and I walk in the door, and everybody's excited to see, the young man that left them 7-8 years ago, which is Isaac. So it's very, very interesting that I mean, even though I haven't gotten to the big stage, the main roster, but like it's incredible the amount of reach that even NXT has, and everybody knows who Obafemi is. Like I at least look familiar to almost everybody on the street, and that's incredible.
Now, I was just wondering, because I always want to go to Africa. Yeah, that's the one place that I haven't gotten a chance to go to. I always want to go and, see my people, and greet them, because I get so much love, from that side, and I just never have gotten a chance to experience that. That's why I was just trying to live vicariously through you for a second, you know what I mean, as far as what's it like, to actually, make that walk. I remember once I went to the Virgin Islands, and I was just working on ESPN, and everybody on the island knew who I was, and it was such a refreshing and overwhelming feeling, being able to represent, for my people. And you got so many people that's looking up to you now. You're a role model. How did that feel? How did that really make you feel?
I mean, it feels good. Before I get into that, I will say I'm willing to bet the house that Booker T is Nigerian. Have you done the ancestry thing yet?
No.
Oh, my money is on you being Nigerian. I can almost guarantee it.
Why do you think that, Oba?
I got that warrior in me, man. That's what it is.
Booker T does. He does have the warrior spirit in him, but there's a way I can tell Nigerian genetics when I see Nigerian genetics. You know what I'm saying? There's a way we look and there's a way we move. It's something that can't really be explained with words, but I can definitely spot it from a mile away.
I'm gonna look it up.
But to answer your question, it just really does feel good to make someone have the same emotions that I had when I watched and I was growing up. And that's one thing that was big for me. That's one thing that got me into wrestling. It was the storytelling, the larger-than-life personalities, the on-screen good guy versus the evil, and how the good overcomes, and that feeling you get when you watch and there's the big payoff at the big PLE, and I'm just glad that now it's my turn, and the fact that I watched as a child, so I know what I have to offer the sport. I know what I have to offer wrestling. There's a lot of people who get into it and they've never watched before they weren't fans, so they don't know what to present. They don't know what to put down. They don't know what to bring to the table when it comes to professional wrestling, but I do. And that was only because I was a fan. So I'm glad I get to make someone else feel that way.
Oba, you're going to be in Booker T's hometown, mine as well, Houston, Texas, on Tuesday at the 713 Music Hall. What can people here in the H expect to see when they pull up on NXT on Tuesday?
Expect the action-packed show. Expect hard-hitting energy from my match. It's Obafemi versus Josh Briggs versus Yoshiki Inamura for the NXT Championship. And I already have the support of the subjects. Your ruler will not disappoint you. Your king will not disappoint you. I will defeat Josh Briggs and I will vanquish Inamura in the triple threat. And I promise Obafemi will still be the NXT champion.
Boom! There it is, baby. That's the way you cut a promo. Woo! That's the way you cut the damn promo.
Fire!
That's where you put asses in seats.
Fire!
You get the people in the house. That's Obafemi. That's the ruler, guys. No bread, no water, just me. Oh, yes, man. Oba, we appreciate you for stepping inside the Hall of Fame. And giving us a little bit of time. Your rulership. I appreciate you.
Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you, bro.
Thanks, Oba.
All right, man. That's Obafemi, man. That's Obafemi.
He's awesome.
Roll into Houston, Texas. I'm talking about romping, stomping, grave digging, destruction, Jack. I'm talking about stepping on some toes and keep on walking, Jack. That's what I'm talking about. That's Obafemi. No bread, no water, just meat. Oh, yes, man.
Oh, come on. He was so awesome. He's so awesome. I love that guy, man. I can't wait to see him in person.
He's the man, man. He's the man. Guys, this is the Hall of Fame, man, coming to you live from Las Vegas, Nevada, getting ready for Pacquiao Barrios. We'll be back in a minute. Let me tell you something right now. I've worn a lot of headsets in my time, but nothing like this new Stealth 700 Gen 3 from Turtle Beach. The sound, man, it's insane. It's like stepping back into the golden age of gaming, man. Only now, The audio is crystal clear. The bass drop hits so much harder, man, and you can wear them for hours without missing a beat, man.
I'm telling you, Book, it's game changing. I used to have to take breaks from my headset because it'd get all uncomfortable. But these, man, these Turtle Beaches, the Turtle Beach, man, the comfort is elite. And the 80-hour battery life means I'm not charging between each and every session. And get this, you can even take phone calls while you're still in the game. That's right, a dual wireless connection with just one click. Console, PC, and your phone, Turtle Beach is on another level.
And man, we ain't playing with this one. I've been running matches with the guys down at the gym, and man, I'm hearing every footstep, every call out. It's making a huge difference. More wins, more moments, and no more. Your book, you're cutting out. That's done, man. We're leveled up with Turtle Beach.
And for a limited time only, you can too. Head over to turtlebeach.com and use code BOOKER to get 10% off your entire order. That's turtlebeach.com, promo code BOOKER. One more time, turtlebeach.com, promo code BOOKER for 10% off.
And hey, and when they ask you where you heard about it, you tell them Booker T. And the boat Brad Gilmore sent you. Turtle Beach, baby, the ultimate cheat code. Now can you dig that sucker?
This is the Hall of Fame on ESPN 97.5.
And on ESPN 92.5.
Live from the Veritex Community Hot House, here's Booker T and Brad Gilmore.
That's right. Yeah, welcome back inside the Hall of Fame, y'all. We having some fun, man. We having some fun over Femi from NXT, the NXT El Gran Campeon, the one of one. The man I've coined the phrase for, no bread, no water, just meat, will be stepping inside of the square circle on Tuesday in Houston, Texas at 713 versus Enamore and Briggs and Triple Threat. One thing about Obafemi, he seemed like he's become like the master of the Triple Threat. Since I've joined NXT, I think I've seen him have more Triple Threat matches than anybody. Perhaps in WWE, and he's, come out on top pretty much in all of them. So looking forward to seeing exactly what the young man brings to Houston, Texas.
Yeah, man, he was sensational in that interview, and he's been sensational in every time I've seen him, whether that be in person or on television. And he's a guy who's got major presence, and you could feel it. You could feel it through the phone and through the airwaves on the radio. And I also want to know now, I'm very interested if Booker T. Huffman Jr. is of Nigerian background.
Look, I got some Mandingo in me, man.
I don't know if I can even laugh at that. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I can even react to that.
I got some Mandingo in me, man. I'm serious. You know what I mean? I can feel it in my bones. I've always been a fighter. And one thing about, my people from the motherland, man, they always fought. And Obafemi straight up from the bush. Now he's the NXT World Champ. What?
No, I'm just here.
What?
I'm just here so I won't get fined.
I remember I said that about Obafemi the first time I was on commentary. Straight out the bush. And now he's the NXT champion. I see big things happening for Obafemi. I'm talking about NXT championship. I'm talking about world titles. I feel like this guy's going to literally crash all glass ceilings in this business. I really do. It's just something about him. And he was talking about it too, as far as like some people just don't really understand the business. 4 years in, it seemed like this guy understands what the business aspect of the game is all about. I appreciate that.
Well, when he said the best sport you can transition from for wrestling is being a fan, That was really impactful to me because it's such a great point. Because we talked about before the football players, and of course they've gone on to be great successes like Bill Goldberg, and Dwayne the Rock Johnson, and then you talk about the NCAA athletes like a Brock Lesnar, everyone in the NIL program, the Olympic gold medalist in Kurt Angle or a Chad Gable who was an Olympic caliber athlete, and then you talk about being a fan and having all of that wrestling. Athletic background in you. It's what's made Obafemi the ruler. And the character aspect, the presentation of him has been nothing short of incredible. And I think that when people can see him up close at the 713 Music Hall, they will feel the exact same way because this guy's main roster bound. We know it's going to happen. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when, to use a phrase you used earlier. And I'm excited to see the trajectory of an Obafemi.
No, I mean, like I say, the sky's the limit for this dude. He's going to be a major player. And the way he goes out and performs, he's definitely he's smart. He's very, very smart. That's why I just wanted to, just get a little bit of insight from him, as far as, his thought process, as far as the game goes, as well as, what is it like for him to go back to Nigeria, because I always wanted to go there, man, just because, like I said, I remember, like I said, when I went to the Virgin Islands, and it was an eye-opening experience for me, so I can only imagine what it would be like going to Africa, and being able to see that up close and personal. I got to go one time, but Oba's definitely an inspiration for so many people in Nigeria, man. Can you imagine? Like Muhammad Ali said back in the day, can you picture 100,000? Can you picture 100,000? That's the way I feel. Like for this dude. Man,
I mean, but for people who don't know some of his legitimate athletic background, this guy's out of the University of Alabama, where he won the shot put title in the SEC indoor track and field championships in 2021 and 2022, and also won the outdoor title later in the year in 2022 before he graduated. This guy's a monster athletically. And he's got such a presence about him. I keep using that word, but he's 6'6", Book. He's north of 300 pounds. He's a big guy. He's a big man. He's a really big man.
Yeah, when I saw track and field, I was like, what the hell is he doing?
He's not doing the hurdles.
No, I'm like, he ain't running no 100 meters, you know what I mean? 400 dash. You know what I mean? I'm like, what the hell is he doing? Then I saw shot put. I was like, oh, okay. Discus, I can imagine something like that.
Some javelin, probably.
Yeah, some javelin. Yeah. But powerlifting, he's something. But no, man, he's a force, man. He's a beast. Very, very imposing. But like I said, you hear the way he talk. He speaks the Queen's English very, very well.
Yes.
And that's one thing about this dude. He's so versatile in so many different ways, and I just want to see him do so well in this business. And like I say, 4 years in, and he's where he's at right now, and that's truly amazing. You know what I mean? For someone to be 4 years in and be as advanced in this sport as he is. So I give him a lot of credit.
I give him a tremendous
I'm back in Obafemi.
Yeah, to the moon and back. I 100% agree. I think that this is the best era in the last 2 years, I would say, in NXT history. I think it's the best era in NXT history. I know that people are going to be like, oh, man, what about the black and gold, the OG black and gold from the early, 2015, 2016? Yeah, that was a great time. You had the Sami Zayns. You had the Samoa Joes. You had the Kevin Owens. But those are all guys who were already established before they got into NXT. I'm talking about Obafemi is from the ground up. Tiffany Stratton is from the ground up. Roxanne Perez, reality wrestling before, but from the ground up. Stephanie Vaquer, she had like a cup of coffee. You got Blake Monroe, who's going to be making her debut here in Houston as a member of the NXT roster. You have so many people. Just in these last few years, Trick Williams, Carmelo Hayes, you talk about Obafemi. I just feel like this is the best time in NXT history.
I believe in this NIL program. I really do. It's something very, very unique where we're getting some of the best athletes around the country coming in and learning professional wrestling. Not just learning professional wrestling, but learning television-style professional wrestling from the beginning, from the get-go. And when you mix the two together, it seems like a formula for success. I mean, I could be wrong, but we produced, I think, over this last 2 years, more talent than we perhaps, did, with just a system over the last 10 years.
I agree. And you know what? the program down there, and not only the television program that obviously you lend your voice to, but what Shawn Michaels has been able to craft down there. And I know obviously people have been coming to Reality of Wrestling, which I think is a benefit for everybody as well. It's just everything just seems to be riding high as far as Reality of Wrestling goes, as far as NXT goes. The business as a whole is super healthy on the WWE side. And even on the for AEW, they had a huge show this last week, and it was massive here in Dallas. And shout out to them for packing that arena. You know, the business is just doing great.
Yeah. Also, guys, tomorrow, here inside the Hall of Fame, we're going to have Ricky Saints, bad man, as well as Trick Williams, that boy, the TNA, El Gran Campeon. We wonder if he's still going to be champion through the weekend, if he's going to show up to Houston with that big goal around his waist. We're going to find out, because we're going to talk to Trick Williams tomorrow just to see exactly where his head is. And I know where his head is, because he's that man. He's that boy, 6'5", chiseled, carved out of granite. Get a man some baby oil, baby. Hey, man, stick around. We'll be back in a minute. Hey, y'all, Booker T here alongside with my main man, Brad Gilmore. And today we're talking about something that could really change the game when it comes to how you get paid.
That's right, Booker, because let's face it, life doesn't just happen every 2 weeks. So why wait for a payday? With Earn In, the money you've earned already can be in your hands today.
Earn In is this incredible app that lets you access your pay as you earn it. We're talking about up to $100 per day and up to $750 each pay period.
All you got to do is download the Earn In app, verify your paycheck, and boom, you can access up to $100 a day as you work. And the cool part, you just leave an optional tip, and any money you access plus the tip gets repaid when your next paycheck rolls in.
You know, Brad, I'm always talking about staying ready so you don't have to get ready, right? Imagine having that extra cash for that surprise date night, or maybe when you have to take the furry little friend to the vet unexpectedly. You know.
Absolutely, Booker. Or even those times when you need to grab a last-minute gift, or maybe you're a little short on rent, or hey, even you might want to pick up some new gear for yourself or your kids or your lady.
Folks, make Earn In part of your financial playbook. Join over 3.5 million customers who are finding financial stability and peace of mind thanks to Earn In.
So don't wait around for a payday. Get your money when you need it and take control of your finances. Download Earn In today and experience what it's like to access pay on your terms.
Get started with Earn In now and join the millions who are getting their pay their way. It's time to earn in, not just earn. Check it out, man. Hey, what's up, Nashville? It's your man, Booker T, 6-time world champ, 2-time Hall of Famer. Wake up, man, and get in the ring with the Hall of Fame.
Every Saturday morning, book at 8 a.m. We're coming to you live on 102.5 The Game, Nashville's home for sports talk. We've got the knockout conversations, the legends, and all the sports insight that you crave.
So check out Booker T and Brad Gilmore every Saturday morning on 102.5 The Game. Now, can you dig it?
I want to ask you a real question. Do your balls stink? Come on, man. We've all been there. Sometimes we just need a little extra help. That's why I'm excited to talk about Mando, the all-over deodorant you can trust to keep you fresh where it counts. So let me tell you my experience. I've used Mando whole body deodorant everywhere. Those usual spots like my pits to those, let's say less conventional spots like thigh folds and even the belly button. Yeah, I'd say for that too. And what surprised me most about Mando is how long it lasts. You're talking about blocking odor for 72 hours. I'm telling you, it's a game changer. So now if you're like me, you've probably tried a ton of deodorants. But Mando is different. It's created by a doctor who's seen firsthand how normal BO is often misunderstood and misdiagnosed. So Mando's got options for you too, man. From the solid stick, powdered with a mandelic acid, to the aluminum-free spray deodorant for those hard-to-reach places. I'm also loving their scent selection too. You can go with something like fresh clover woods or that bold bourbon leather. Man, and guess what? For those of you who are ready to try Mando, you get a starter pack. You can get a solid stick deodorant, a cream tube deodorant, plus 2 free products like their mini body wash or deodorant wipes, and free shipping. New customers get $5 off when you use our exclusive code BOOKER, BOOKER, at shopmando.com. That's over 40% off, guys. That's SHOPMANDO.com. Promo code BOOKER. Go ahead and smell fresher, stay drier, and boost your confidence from head to toe with Mando. Again, that's code BOOKER at shopmando.com. Let them know that the boat Brad Gilmore and the Hall of Fame sent you.
You're listening to the Hall of Fame on ESPN 97.5.
And on ESPN 92.5.
Live from the Veritex Community Hot Studios, here's Booker T and Brad Gilmore.
Oh, yes, man. Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame. Like I say, it's going down Saturday. Manny Pacquiao versus Mario Barrios. Sebastian Fundora versus Tim Tszyu. Isak Pitbull Cruz versus Angel Fiallo. And the heartbreaker, Brandon Figueroa, is going to step back inside. One thing about these Figueroa brothers, man. The Figueroa brothers, you know, they got that fighting style. It's just one way, downhill, throwing punches. You know what I mean? Which is really a recipe for disaster at the end of the day. But I love it. I love it.
Let's talk about the Figueroa sister, though.
Figueroa's sister, man. The sister, man, she hot. She smoking hot, man. She always brings the party to the situation. So hopefully I got to find the press conference. I mean, the
weigh-ins.
Yeah, the weigh-in. I got to get to the weigh-in just to make sure I see exactly the sister. But now the Figueroa brothers, man, they definitely are either they winning or losing. One of the two, winning or losing. Sebastian Fundora versus Tim Tszyu. That's a fight that I'm really, really highly anticipating. Like I say, because that was the fight for me, fight of the year of 2024. It was a bloodbath. Tim Tszyu is definitely the son of a legendary fighter, Costa Tszyu. And the kid is bad. The kid is bad, no doubt. And a lot of people thought he would have won that fight if not for the elbow, the blood, and all of the gore and whatnot, because he fought. If I'm not mistaken, split decision, right?
I can look that up for you.
I think it was a split decision between the two, so it wasn't a runaway or anything like that. So for me, I'm almost sure it was a split decision because I was biting my nails.
I remember. I think it went. I'm pretty sure you're right.
I had my head in my lap. You know what I mean? Because I had bet on, the
split decision. Split decision.
I thought it was a split decision. Sebastian Fundora. I was like, man, what's gonna happen? And so my thing is, looking forward to seeing that fight. Pitbull Cruz as well. Angel Fiallo. That fight right there is a replay as well. We're gonna see exactly what Isak Pitbull Cruz bring to the table. One thing about Pitbull, I've seen this guy fight, literally at the top of his game. But normally when he's fighting at the top of his game, he's fighting the top fighters. Normally when he's fighting a guy a little bit lower, he fights down to that opponent. I don't know. I'm wondering which Isak Pitbull Cruz is going to show up tomorrow night. That's going to be the ultimate question in that fight.
Well, you know what, Pitbull. It's always something to see. I feel like we've seen like 3 or 4 Isak Cruz fights in person, and he always goes in there. And you know what? I feel like every time we see him fight, I always turn to you and say the same thing. I go, hell of a way to make a living, because he's always in there and fighting in it. Oh man, he's somebody you want to see, Isak Pitbull Cruz. So definitely shout out to him. That's going to be a hell of a card book. I really hate that I'm not going to be there. I'm getting really mad about it. But you know what? It's all right. You're going to get to experience it for us, and you're going to tell us about it in the Hall of Fame.
I'm excited about seeing Gary Russell Jr. get back in the ring. I mean, this guy has been a dynamic fighter. I mean, he's had hand problems. Of course, I haven't seen Gary Russell in the ring in quite some time. And now to see him step back inside. I think the last time I saw Gary Russell Jr. fight, I think he lost his championship. if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. But I think that's the last time we saw Gary Russell Jr. fight. But the guy is very, very dynamic. To see him step back inside the square circle alongside his brothers, I'm sure they're going to be there, rooting for him. He lost his dad, a couple of years ago, who was the guy who really was the man behind all the magic, the puppet master who was pulling all the strings. They lost his dad, and Gary Russell pretty much has been the guy to step up and take that role as of late. So it's going to be great to see him step back in the ring and go out there and do his thing.
Well, you know what? That's going to be going down live at the MGM Grand Garden Arena and also on pay-per-view. Make sure you tune in. You don't want to miss out. You don't want to get shut out, as a great man once said. Book, there's several things going on, obviously, this weekend. You want to talk about the Dustin the Diamond Poirier is going in there against Max Holloway for the BMF title. We got Monday Night Raw on Monday. We got NXT on Tuesday. So much is happening. And last weekend was a great pro wrestling weekend. Like we said, Saturday night's main event, Goldberg and Gunther had a great match to close out Goldberg's career. You had Evolution.
What do you think about everybody hating? What do you think about everybody hating on Goldberg? Huh? You got a lot of people hating on Goldberg, man. A lot of people just want to have their opinions about Goldberg. Why? Why is that?
Well, look, I think that Goldberg went out there and actually had a hell of a match with Gunther. It was 15 minutes.
Whoa,
great main event.
Wait a minute. Well, what do you think about Goldberg? Goldberg actually said it wasn't a great night for him. He said he could have had a better night. What do you think about that?
Well,
it's so much. People, in their kerfuffles. You know what I mean?
Look,
and always having a problem. What is the deal with people going on today? What's the deal?
Well, I think that Goldberg, for some reason, finds himself to be a polarizing figure in the world of pro wrestling. I think it's just because
you think?
Yeah, he does. And I've always been a Goldberg fan and supporter, as have you on this show. I will say, he had a great night. And to me, when I saw the match, I was like, wow, what a way to go out. It's not WrestleMania, it's not SummerSlam, but it is Saturday night's main event. It is in Atlanta, Georgia for the world title. You couldn't really write it better if you're Bill Goldberg. And I know that they had to cut his speech short on network television.
Do you think? Let's just put it out there. Let's just get the elephant out of the room. Do you feel like Goldberg was wronged in any way in his retirement match?
Do I feel like that? No, I don't. I don't feel like he was wronged in any way in his retirement.
Do you feel like being cut off network television at the top of the hour was the wrong thing to do or the right thing to do?
Well, I don't think there was a choice in the matter. They had to do it.
Exactly my point. That's where I'm coming from. That's why I understand. I understand where Bill is coming from.
I can understand his frustration.
Yeah, I can understand his frustration a little bit, but I thought the speech was meant for the Georgia fans, Georgians.
The Georgians, the Atlantans, I don't know.
The Atlantans, yeah, the Atlantans, the Georgians. I thought that would have been more for than anything. I'm thanking all of those guys for that ride. I mean, the television audience is one thing, the millions and millions of fans, but I thought the intimacy with Georgia meant more for Bill Goldberg than the masses. And I thought most of those people, I wouldn't say most of them, but a lot of those people were inside that arena. Am I right or wrong on that?
Yes, absolutely right. I agree with you. To me, look, again, I understand what Goldberg's saying, but also I do want to say that WWE put the entirety of the speech on their YouTube channel, which their YouTube channel is one of the top 10 most subscribed channels in all of the world in YouTube. And it has 1.2 million views on it so far. So, I mean, people are definitely getting to see the speech. Maybe it wasn't on Saturday night's main event like Goldberg would have wanted to. I know he said on the Ariel Helwani show he was pissed. Those are his words. And you know what? I can't tell a man how he wants to feel about something. I think the match was great.
What do you think about Helwani? What do you think about him?
I think he did his job.
I'm just playing.
I think he did his job. But I think that Bill Goldberg, from a fan of Bill Goldberg's perspective, from the fan's eye, I think he had a great send-off. He had a great match. He's had a hell of a career, and he looked better at 58 than most people ever look at 28, and he should be proud of the work that he and Gunther did.
You know what? I couldn't agree with you more. I think did a great job. I thought it was a great send-off. I thought WWE did a great job as far as putting him in a spot on Saturday Night Main Event, a historical show that has been around for many, many years. And for him to actually be headlining something like that. That's just like a pay-per-view. It's just like one of the biggest shows of the year, as far as I'm concerned. Especially with Goldberg being, the headliner in it. His send-off was definitely better than a lot of guys. A lot of guys don't get that.
A lot of guys don't get a last match.
A lot of guys don't get that opportunity and that chance to go. I mean, I always say the Hall of Fame was my highlight moment, to get a chance to go out there and thank the fans for that last ride. I didn't get a last match or anything. I guess the Rumble was kind of cool, you know what I mean? But for what Goldberg got, man, I thought it was fitting. It was definitely fitting for a guy who has done what he has done for the business. And I know a lot of people, talk down on Goldberg and what he did for the business, but Goldberg, he brought a lot to the table. And for the guys who really don't understand that it's about putting behinds in seats, Goldberg did that. In his era, Goldberg did that. So you can only give that guy his props for what he did for the business. And I say this to anyone who was in that same position as Goldberg, and if they came to you and said, hey, man, we're going to give you millions of dollars to go out there and just be you, I think you would have done it as well.
You know what? I think 100%. And also, I want to know what the over-under was in Vegas for Goldberg going over 15 minutes for his final match. Nobody saw that coming. And you know what? That's a testament to Bill Goldberg, and that's a testament to Gunther.
Minus 1,000.
There's no chance, right? There's no chance of that. But he went out there and did it. And again, he should feel completely proud of his career. I honestly, as a fan, I hated to hear that he wasn't pleased with it, because I thought it was a great send-off for him. But that's for him to feel. That's 100% on him. Whatever he wants to feel, he can feel. But I think from my perspective, he got a great send-off, and he should be proud of that career. I mean, this is an event that once saw the rematch of Hulk Hogan and Andre the Giant. That's the lineage of Saturday Night's Main Event. And the fact that he got to go out for the world title, that's the biggest one for me. Like, in your adopted hometown for the world title at 58 years of age, and he looked great doing it. Props to Bill Goldberg. Props to him, really.
Yeah.
But you know what? People are going to feel like they want to feel online. You know what I mean? But to me, Goldberg wasn't even the biggest winner of the weekend. To me, the biggest winner of the weekend was Klay Thompson, the Dallas Maverick, because he is dating Megan Thee Stallion. They're officially a couple, Book, and to me, he's the biggest winner of last weekend.
Clayton came up.
Clayton came up, man.
Clayton came up. I mean, he's a good dude too, man. He's a good dude. I got a chance to meet him out in L.A. At this party at the top of the roof of this hotel. He was a really, really cool dude, man. So I'm glad to see him, smashing. I mean, I didn't say that. I'm glad to see him, cashing in on Megan Thee Stallion. That's what I meant to say.
That's a more apropos way of putting it. You know what I mean? And look, he's a Dallas Maverick. She's an H-Town girl. Who said that Houston and Dallas can't get along? You know what I mean? Hey, we can all make it work.
Hey, man, that's a come up. That's a huge come up right there for Klay Thompson.
Shoot, man.
I'm serious, man. I mean, Megan Thee Stallion. I mean, because she's the real deal.
Respectfully, she's incredible.
I mean, she's the real deal. I mean, as far as very, very healthy. Very, very healthy. What?
Very talented MC as well.
Very, very, very talented in so many different ways, So for Clayton to come up like that, man, that's a big, big, big money move, man. But, nah, man.
Clayton, I like how you're calling him Clayton.
I don't know why I call everybody with the name Clayton. I don't know why.
You have to, almost.
That's just part of my gimmick, you know what I mean? Clayton. But definitely. But I know we're coming up on a break here real soon, but John Jones, what do you think about him?
Well, we're going to talk about John Jones at the ESPYs coming up in our final segment, because is he retired? We're going to find out.
Is he retired?
I don't know.
Is he retired?
I don't know. He may be.
Hey, guys, stick around. You're in the Hall of Fame. We'll be back in a minute.
And she's joining me right now, one half of the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions. And you can see her at the Toyota Center this Monday for Monday Night Raw, the one and only Roxanne Perez. Roxanne, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. And it's so great to see you right now in this form. First off, congratulations on all the success that you've been experiencing. It has been such a ride for you, I know, and for me to watch. You know, I'm the biggest Roxanne Perez supporter in the state of Texas,
Yeah.
maybe next to your family. And it's been so much fun to see. How has this ride been for you?
I feel like everything has just, surpassed my expectations, and I think everything has just fallen into place exactly the way it's supposed to. And now I'm holding tag team championship gold again. So yeah, I'm so happy.
Well, now this is your WWE main roster championship, the first one, right? So you were the NXT Women's Tag Team Champ, you're Women's Champion, but now you have this WWE title. You know, when you got that, first off, when did you find out you were going to kind of step in to this position when Liv kind of went down?
It was actually the day that they handed me the tag team championship belt.
And how did it make you feel? Like what was the initial reaction?
Obviously I was sad for Liv. Injuries are always the worst, especially when you're out for a long period of time. But I knew that I could be the perfect person to step in for her and step in for the Judgment Day and make sure that they keep all the gold in the clubhouse.
Well, you know what, and you're doing a great job. That Evolution show from Atlanta is being talked about as the best WWE PLE of the entire year. What was the energy for that Atlanta crowd, the match that you had, and kind of the vibe of the locker room?
Yeah, the energy was great. The vibe of the locker room was so freaking awesome. I think everybody was just so happy to have another evolution finally, and also for me, I think it was a really full circle moment. And I think I feel like I have so many I made it moments, but I think this one was a really big one. My mom was in the crowd and she was able to come backstage with me also. And I remember watching the first evolution with her and sitting there and telling her, one day I'm going to be a part of that. I'm going to be in there with all those women. And flash forward a few years later, I'm backstage with my mom and we're watching the main event together with all the women surrounding us. And it was just a really cool moment.
Well, I know how much of a fan you are of the business going back, to the early years. There's pictures of Roxanne Perez floating out there with so many wrestlers. You know, you trying to get in there and just get a piece of the action, and then to be in the ring with someone like Charlotte Flair or an Alexa Bliss in that moment. It has to be the "How did I get here?" moment. Is this really happening? But you also don't look out of place at all. You feel like you should have always been there. And that's got to be something interesting to kind of, I don't know, sit with.
Yeah, for sure. I think when I first stepped into the WWE, and being surrounded by all these people that I looked up to when I was younger was really nerve-wracking. And I did have a little bit of that sense of like, okay, am I at their level? And now that you say that, like being in the ring with all of those women, Alexa, the Kabuki Warriors, Charlotte, I had the sense of like, no, yeah, I belong here and I'm in here with all these women and I've worked my ass off to be in here with all these women. So, yeah, I think it feels right now.
It feels more than right. Now let's talk about Houston because you're going to be here for Monday Night Raw. This is essentially like a home court show for you,
Yes.
right? We're playing in front of friends and family here. What does it mean to come back to this city as one half of the women's tag team champions and on Monday Night Raw?
Oh my gosh, it means so much to me. Like I can't even really put it into words, but Houston is pretty much where it all started for me. I was taking Greyhounds over there, 6-hour bus rides, doing my homework on there just to train at Booker T's school, Reality Wrestling. Um, and yeah, I remember I had a lot of hard times there, where my pockets weren't full, but I was getting to training every single day and putting in the work because I knew one day it was going to pay off. And now I am walking in as one half of the women's tag team champions. So I am so excited. I'm so excited to finally wrestle again in front of all those Houston people.
H-Town, H-Town's going to
Yeah.
come out, and obviously NXT is going to be there the following night here in Houston. Now, going back to it, when you got into NXT, out of reality of wrestling, Booker was there at reality wrestling, obviously, as a big influence on you, and then he was there in NXT almost right when you got there. So it's almost like it just continued. You went from high school to college in a lot of ways, as Booker was
Yeah.
still your professor, and now you're
Yeah.
out there on Monday Night Raw. But does Booker still pop up in your head every so often? Because I know for me, I've worked with him for 12, 13 years, whatever it's been, and there's not anything that I do where his voice sometimes isn't in my head. Do you have a similar experience?
Yes, yes, absolutely. And then I still pop in every now and then on Tuesdays, and I'll see Booker, and he'll still give me some advice. So yeah, but yeah, I do have that Booker T voice in my head, whether it's before my matches or even in my matches. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he's got great lessons, but
He
what's
does.
also great about him is he gives honest feedback, and I think that's why you see so many people out of reality of wrestling come in a lot sharper, maybe than if they trained somewhere else. And that's not a knock to anywhere else. It's just Booker's vision is so unique and distinct that he will be honest with you, even at this stage in your career, I'm sure.
Yeah, he doesn't sugarcoat anything, nothing, which I love.
That's why we love him. That's why we love him. Now? Obviously, you were in the elimination chamber this year. That was a huge moment. Doing what you're doing now as a part of the women's tag team champions is a huge moment. You're coming back to Houston. That's a huge moment. We know we still have stuff on the bucket list. Like if you were to talk to Roxanne Perez in a couple years from now, what are the things that you want to make sure that you have accomplished? Are there opponents? I know there are championships that you want to win. I know there's stages that you want to be able to wrestle on. But what does that look like?
In a few years down the road, when I'm finally, I mean, I don't know how long it will take before I'm finally ready to call it a career, but
Well, yeah,
I think like when it's all said and done, I want to be a Grand Slam champion and I want to main event WrestleMania.
and it's going to happen.
100%.
You know it's going to happen, right? Like there's no doubt in my mind that all of that's going to happen. And I'm not just saying that because I think there's been very few people that I've come into contact with in this industry who, I met you, I think when you were 16 or 17, somewhere around
Yeah,
there.
yeah,
And
16.
to see everything happen for you the way that you always wanted it to, and to see it unfold, and to see you tap into the potential that everybody saw within your first couple of matches has been incredible. So I have no doubt in my mind that you will be on the main event of WrestleMania, and I will be there cheering you on, as well as winning that Grand Slam championship. Do you feel that what you felt for the women when you were coming up watching? Do you feel that sense of responsibility to the younger women and male superstar or male fans who are watching you as a kind of a role model?
Yeah, 100%. I think that there are so many women from the past that were such a big part of this happening today, of us being able to have an all women's pay-per-view, for us to be able to main event Raws and SmackDowns and pay-per-views that have the men on it as well. And I do feel a sense of responsibility to continue carrying that legacy and make sure that um all the women that are gonna come after me have me to look up to as inspiration.
Well, you know what? Your name is going to ring true for decades to come in this industry of professional wrestling. People will be talking about Roxanne Perez forever. I can't wait to see you at Monday Night Raw. I'll be there cheering you on in the crowd, as well as everybody watching or listening. Make sure you get your tickets for Monday Night Raw from the Toyota Center so you can see the one and only Roxanne Perez in action, defending maybe that tag team championship. We'll have to see what Raw has in store for it. But
Mhm.
Roxanne, just great to see you. Always great to talk to you. It's
Good to see you
amazing to see
too.
where you are, and I couldn't be more happy for you.
Thank you, thank you. It's good to see you.
This is is the Hall of Fame on ESPN 97.5.
And on ESPN 92.5.
Live from the Veritex Community Bank Studios, here's Booker T and Brad Gilmore.
Oh, yes, man. Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame. It's fight week going down here in Las Vegas, Nevada. Oh, yes, man. WBC welterweights, Manny Pacquiao versus Mario Barrios, as well as super welterweights, WBC super welterweights, Sebastian Fundora versus Tim Tszyu. The rematch. Who's going to come out on top in that match, as well as Isaac Pitbull Cruz versus Angel Fierro. Triple threat, baby. The trifecta is going down on the Heartbreaker. Brandon Figueroa, as well as Gary Russell Jr., will be making appearances as well in the ring. But we talking about that boy right now, John Jones. John Jones. Is he retired? Is he unretired? Is he retired? Is he unretired? What's the deal with John Jones? Are we going to see John Jones and Tom Aspinall lock it up inside the cage just one time? Are we going to see it? That's the question.
Well, if it takes place, it's going to take place on the south lawn of the White House for the America 250 celebration, because John Jones said it on the ESPY's red carpet on ABC, and streaming on ESPN Plus. He said, he was like, hey, if I want to come back and do something that feels good to me and feels something that I could add to the sport and have a big moment. And he said, when I found out about the White House, I think he's already called Dana and said, let's just make sure I'm on that card. So if we get Tom Aspinall and John Jones at the White House next year in July sometime, I guess it's going to happen. That's the only place that it looks like we'll see a John Jones fight. Now, he didn't say, I'm going to come out and fight Tom Aspinall. He said, I just want to fight on that card. That's kind of an open-ended thing, because Tom Aspinall, I don't know. Would Tom Aspinall be a part of the America 250 celebration?
Who's he going to fight? DC?
But maybe. Bring it back. Let him fight Chael. You know what I mean?
Chael Sonnen.
Yeah.
I mean, who's he going to fight if he don't fight Tom Aspinall? That's the biggest fight that one can make. That's the biggest fight that he could have on his way out, if he's going to be on his way. And the thing is he just unretiring for this one fight? That's another question.
It seems like it. It seems like it. You know what I mean? But, sometimes John Jones, look, if we've known anything about him, we know that he keeps us on our toes, and he wants to fight at the White House. I'm sure, honestly, Book, when you think about what the history of that moment's going to mean, regardless of anything else, just having a UFC fight at the White House, I'm sure every fighter wants to be on that card. Because can you imagine the publicity it's going to get? It's going to be out of this world. The publicity is going to be out of this world. And so I'm sure every fighter wants to be on that card. You might see Conor McGregor on the card.
No, we're not going to see Conor on any cards anytime soon. Have you seen Conor McGregor lately?
I've seen him, and I've also seen some stories.
He doesn't even look like the same guy. He look like he ate Conor McGregor.
He does look like Conor McGregor ate Conor McGregor, and he's been in some more scandals as always. So I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen with that one, but I know that if anything, look, we might see Jake Paul make his MMA debut on that card. I think it's going to be a circus.
You won't see Jake Paul on that card either.
You know what?
White ain't having that. Come on, bro.
Look, last night, comedian Shane Gillis, he hosted the ESPY Awards, and he was shouting out people who were in the crowd, and he said, Sugar Ray Leonard is here. Sugar Ray, you look great for 69. In about 10 more years, you'll be fighting Jake Paul.
You ain't lying. Sugar Ray Leonard did look good, man.
He looked great.
Damn it, man. I'm like, what is he taking, man? He damn near 70 years old, and he still look like he's the same. He looks still the same. Still same haircut. He still got hair.
He still got hair.
His hairline is still there and everything.
It's still there.
Like, what the hell is he doing, man? Big ups to Sugar Ray Leonard, man, because he's definitely done. I found a fountain of youth. I'm serious, man. I'm serious. But John Jones, man, hopefully we'll see John Jones, Tom Aspinall. I want to see that fight. I want to see exactly what Tom Aspinall has. I mean, is he the guy? You know what I mean? Is he, is he the one? Is he the like in the Matrix? Is he Neo? Is he the one? You know what I mean? Because everybody's putting, a lot of stock into Tom Aspinall, being the interim champion. Then now John Jones retiring. Now he is the the heavyweight champion. Now John Jones has the ultimate story to come back, fight Tom Aspinall, and win the heavyweight championship back by right. You know what I mean? How great of a story would that be for John Jones on his way out?
I mean, it would be quite the incredible tale told for one of the great fighters in MMA history, you know, and to do it at a historic event. You know, that they're going to talk about, you know, for generations as far as the sport of the UFC. Going from being banned in most states to having a show at the White House that's a come up for the UFC, you know, and I know they're under the TKO umbrella, so I'm sure the TKO folks are happy about that as well.
Yeah, no doubt.
Let me ask you, though, going back, just to get some official predictions. I know we're going to be back on the air tomorrow. A lot of people are going to be hearing some final weekend predictions from you for the Manny Pacquiao and Mario Barrios fight, but we kind of think we know where we're leaning on that one. But what's your final word on Dustin the Diamond Poirier and Max Holloway for the BMF title? Exactly how do you see that fight ending?
Like I said, I think both of those guys at the end of their careers, who has the most left in the tank? I think that's going to be the question more than anything. I think Dustin Poirier. I think Dustin Poirier has even though Max Holloway got a hell of a stand-up, something about Dustin Poirier's boxing. There's something the way he throws his punches. You know what I mean? Sometimes he's throwing them down the middle. Sometimes they're looping. His wrestling game is on point. I give Dustin Poirier the advantage in that fight.
Okay, Dustin the Diamond going to go out maybe with a W. I'd love to see it. I'd love to see what's going to happen in that fight, man.
I mean, what and the question is going to be what Max got left also. What does Max have left in the tank? You know,
I mean, that fight against Justin Gaethje, it was pretty spectacular there at the end.
Yeah, to the end.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was a great fight. You know what I mean? So it's definitely I'm wondering, you know, what the guy have left in the tank. You know what I mean? It's always about, you know, not the fight but the preparation. You know what I mean? How well both of these guys prepared, you know, for this fight. You know, so we're gonna see. We're gonna find out. My money's on Dustin Poirier, the Louisiana boy, maybe because I'm from Louisiana. Maybe because I'm Bon Teleon, Bon Ton Red Lou. You know what I mean? I knew it's something like that. Bon Teleon, Ton Roulette. Yeah, it is. Yeah, something like that.
Something like that. I think you're way off, though.
Teleon, Ton Roulette. Yeah, that's it right there. That's it right there. I mean, that's Louisiana stuff, man. You don't know nothing about that. Cajun. It's Cajun. Not Asian. Cajun.
No, hey, look. By the way, I've been doing my ancestry, and a lot of my people are from Vernon Parish, Louisiana. That's where my family comes from. So you know what?
You might have some people from Skipperville.
No, I don't have no Skipperville Alabamans. We're Northern Alabama. And
you might have some Skipperville as your ancestry. You might need to look it up, man.
I don't have any Skipperville. I tell you what, though, I don't love fully my ancestry from what I'm finding out, but we're a lot of Vernon Parish, Louisiana, and Northern Alabama. That's where the main and Ireland, you know.
All right.
That's where we're from. That's where the family's from.
Ireland, yeah. All right.
A lot of Irish.
I can see that. I can see that.
Oh yeah, what gave it away?
You haven't drank. You don't do no drinking.
I don't do any drinking.
Give it away.
Yeah, that's true.
There's no paints have been going around, so that definitely didn't give it away. But nah, man, I want to thank everybody for stepping inside the Hall of Fame. Get your champagne wishes, caviar dreams, man. Brad for all the heavy lifters all the time. And until next time, make sure you guys step in tomorrow, man. Ricky Saints, Trick Williams. And until next time, guys, peace. We love you, and we out.